Hey guys, before we begin this video, I just want to let you guys know that if you guys need 12-0 spotlights, evos, domination, whatever you guys need done, be sure to hit up Rose NBA on Twitter and he'll give you a really good price, get it done for you really quick as well, so be sure to go hit him up now. What is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys a little video here on how to actually shoot with the Pro Stick. Now, I've been sitting here for probably the last hour to hour and a half, messing around with this Pro Stick thing, trying to shoot and all that, and it's honestly been a pain. I will say that it has honestly been a pain, and it's something that I feel like a lot of people are going to debate on going back and forth or whatever, so we're going to get into it right away here. I'm going to kind of show you guys some tips on how I think to shoot with the stick and how it's a little bit better. I'm going to kind of show you guys where I think the best spots are to shoot with the stick. But on top of that, I think the best thing that I can honestly show you guys is where I think shooting with the button has its advantages and where I think shooting with the stick has its advantages. So if you guys do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like on it. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe in. Y'all already know we are going crazy in 2K21, and I'm not talking like, oh, we're gonna blow up. No, trust me, we're going crazy. So let's get into this here. So if you guys don't know how to do this, all you have to do is hit 2KU on the main menu. You'll probably load in and you'll have this little thing on the side of the screen. All you got to do is hit right on the D-pad, or excuse me, left on the D-pad, either one, and it'll go away. So as a tip, honestly, to start this off with, I'm going to tell you guys to stand where a hot zone is. So you guys can see Kawhi has a hot zone on the side. It shows a little red or a little orange arrows underneath his name. And yeah, so a lot of you guys will probably start off shooting with the button like I did. And honestly, I think I like shooting where hot zones are to kind of warm up a little bit, just because the shots will go in a little bit more, as my friend, of course, has to leave the party in the middle of a video. Basically, what I'm saying, though, is while you're standing in these hot zones, it is obviously nice to, sit here and take these shots. But you guys can see, even without, shooting with the stick, it is a little bit tougher to green. And right there, that basically was like a, just off of that middle part. And, we did miss it. You guys can see we're literally hitting really close to where that green spot is. And it is a little bit tougher. I think it is a little bit harder to shoot right there. Right there, when you guys get those, basically green animations, they are guaranteed to go in. When the meter does flash, I think it basically guarantees you to make it. So that's pretty cool there. So you guys will see even farther away. It'll be a little bit harder, but, it is kind of easy to get down. I mean, you guys can see. So it's not guaranteed because it did just flash and we did miss. So you guys can see we're hitting right in the middle every single time. And this is where I think it is a little bit different from last year. You know what I'm saying? Last year, I feel like even with these spots, you would be able to make, 9 out of the 10 shots. And even right now, it's not like that. So you guys can kind of see that even if you get really close, that one was a little bit off. But even when you get close, you are going to either, get a full white and miss, or it'll still go in. But yeah, so starting off shooting with the stick, you guys can see we are hitting pretty close. Now, when I started shooting off with the stick, it was pretty bad. So right there, you guys can see I actually just shot that one with the stick. It's just slightly to the right. Now, this is just a tip that I could tell you guys that when I started practicing this, where I went on the floor was on the sides. Again, you want to start out with where these hot zones are. And the biggest tip I can tell you guys right now, when you're shooting with the stick, you're not actually shooting to time the shot. When you're shooting with the button, you have to time it. You know what I'm saying? You have to time it to get to that spot. So again, when you're shooting with the button, you have to time it. It's all about timing and stopping right in the middle. When you shoot with this analog stick, you're not actually worried about the timing as you are worried about placing the that little golden bar. So you guys can see right away, we're not really shooting that great. But again, that's how I started. I actually was trying to worry about timing there. If you worry about timing, you're going to miss a lot. The shot will actually time itself for you. So you actually, when you're shooting with the stick here, you want to make sure that you're getting as close to the middle as you can. So you guys can see we hit a nice little green right there. Same thing, we hit a nice little green. I tried to get 3 in a row. It is a little weird. I will say that sometimes it does feel like it flings your, it feels like it flings the little thing, left or right or whatever the case is. But again, you're literally just holding down on the stick and trying to get that little gold bar as close to the middle as you can. So right there, you guys can see we actually hit 2 full whites back to back in a row. We're actually going to make it 3 full whites in a row. And again, this is all with the stick. So honestly, don't expect to get this down right away, but you guys can see finally after sitting here for a little bit, I am kind of getting it down. We've made 5 shots in a row. Can we make it 6? We can. And we actually are going on a nice little streak here. That's 7 shots in a row. And you guys can see they are all centered. And again, you guys can see it in the video. We're shooting this all with the stick as we finally miss. So you guys will see where you stand on the floor will depend on where the meter is and where like that little like bar thing is going to start. So shooting from the middle of the floor, I feel like is a little bit more difficult, and I'm going to kind of get into that in a minute here. So we do knock down a shot finally, but where you go on the floor, you guys will see that it actually moves on the meter. Now that is why I actually really like shooting on these sides here. So you guys can see Kawhi has a cold spot on this side, so he might miss a little bit more of his shots, but again, shooting with the meter or shooting with the stick, it really doesn't matter because I feel like even with the cold zone, you will be able to time it a little bit better from the corners. As you guys can see, we actually green like 2 or 3 shots in a row right there. And again, same thing. We are just timing it very easily or not timing it very easily. We're moving it very like lightly. And you guys can see we are knocking down a lot of shots as all my friends seem to be joining and leaving the party in the middle of the video. So again, like I said, when you're shooting with the stick though, it is all about just, it's not about timing it. It's about moving it around. So I know I didn't say this before, and I probably should say this now. When you shoot, you're not going down and then up. When you go down and up, you guys can see it actually moves. Now that's where I was going wrong. A lot of people were telling me even in my stream before that they couldn't figure it out because of that. What you want to do is you literally just want to hold it down and then move the stick to where the middle is. And I'm talking very gently. You guys will see right here. I'm actually gonna zoom in with my camera right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna show you guys right here. So literally, it's right here. So you guys will see, I'm gonna catch the ball, and it's literally just like that. You wanna pull the stick down and move it very slightly to the left or to the right, and what that does is it does, obviously, center the shot for you. You guys can see we're actually making a majority of our shots now, and it's actually a hell of a lot better. Now, obviously, we're shooting around in 2KU, so it is a little bit easier than obviously doing this in a 5-on-5 game. Now, this is where, again, I'm going to tell you guys where I think the best spots are to shoot with the stick. As you guys can see, I think that's our 3rd green in a row. We're going to take a little bit of an in-game shot right there. We're going to still knock down that shot. I'll show you guys some dribble moves, combo. Try to stop, snatch it back, wide open, and we're knocking it down. It's literally all about just getting the hang of it. It's the same thing like we said, about shooting with the meter off last year. If you were to say, oh, you're going to shoot with the meter off, I would have been like, what are you, high? And yeah, obviously, you guys see how far that went. Now with the stick, I'm starting to get it down, and it's actually really easy to green. So again, this is where I'm going to tell you guys the best spots to shoot with the stick versus the analog stick, okay? So with the stick and the button, I don't know why I said stick twice, but yeah, with the stick and the button. So when it comes to the button, I think you want to shoot more in the middle of the floor. I think the middle of the floor is better with the button. Now, again, you guys got to be careful because when you're shooting with the button, you're going to be more likely to miss. Now, the reason why I like shooting with the button with a little bit more center is because I feel like, you're going to have to kind of time it a little bit better. And I think timing it is going to be more important. Now, we don't even know what it's like to shoot with the meter off. So this obviously could not matter. But from the middle of the floor, you guys can see that we're right on the money. We're greening some of our shots. It's literally dead center every single time. It is just whether or not the game really wants to let me make the shot or not. So again, slightly late, slightly early, whatever the case is. For me, I think shooting between like the hash marks on the side of the court. So, right when you hit this hash mark, that's where you want to hit like the button. You know what I'm saying? So you want to shoot with the button from this hash all the way to this hash and in between there. When you shoot with the button, I feel like, again, it does kind of make it a little bit easier. Now, even in these corners, that's where I feel like you want to shoot with the stick because, again, it's very easy to kind of control the stick from the corners. It starts out already in the middle of the thing, and you really just have to control it and just kind of make sure it doesn't go too far to the left as it did right there. You guys can see sometimes it will happen as it goes too far to the right there. But, yeah, that's like straight on. There we go. So, again, straight on again for the most part. I mean, obviously it's still going to make you miss, either way, but as we're going on a little bit of a cold spell, but it is okay. You guys can see, we have been greening a lot of our shots with the stick here. And again, that's where I do think the corners are a little bit better to shoot with the stick. Now, obviously, like I said, we have been missing a lot, and it is what it is. I'm obviously still new at this, but honestly, outside of the three-point line, these mid-range shots are always going to be green for me. As you can see, we green our first one. And we're going to knock down that one. And then again, you can practice this and keep backing up as you go. You guys can see right here. If we were to get this Kawhi shot in every single time, I'm confident he can make it almost every single time. The threes, like I said, are a little bit more difficult, though. It kind of involves a little bit more timing and getting a little bit closer to it. So I'm still working on the threes. But as far as the mid-ranges go, we kind of have that on locks. You guys can see we knock them in every single time. So when it comes to the hash marks, again, in between the hashes, that's where you want to shoot with the button. As soon as you hit this little hash mark, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the thing I'm standing on right now, that hash mark down, so anywhere in this area, that's where you want to shoot with the stick. So again, when it comes to shooting with the stick, just to kind of remind you guys what I'm talking about, you guys want to make sure that you aren't timing it. When it comes to the button, you want to time it. When it comes to the stick, you want to just angle it left or right, depending on where that little middle part is. So just to reiterate myself again, when you are shooting from these sides, the stick is the best thing to do. Even in cold spots, you guys will see you'll knock down a lot of easier shots. Now, one last thing I did want to talk about here is, you know, because I know a lot of people are going to ask me, do you think shooting with a stick is better in general, or, you know, meter off is better, whatever the case is. And here's my opinion on the whole situation here. Honestly, I personally think that shooting with the meter off is going to be the best way to shoot in general. You guys are probably going to see, once I have the ability to turn the meter off, if I have these wide open corner threes, I'm probably going to take them with the button, with the meter off. I think that is going to be the best thing for me to do, because I think greening them in the corner is going to be a little bit easier with the, you know, the meter off. As you guys can see, we green 3 straight in the corner with the meter off, or with the button. I was trying to make it 4 straight, but yeah, it is a little bit easier to shoot with the button. But again, I think shooting with the stick will kind of give it that little bit more of a balance, especially in that mid-range area. But I do believe that shooting with the meter off is going to be the best thing to do. Now, that is just my opinion. Obviously, it's still earlier on. We're still in the demo, so I don't know. It could be different, you know, years. It could be different months from now. I don't know. But as of right now, I do think that shooting with the meter off is probably going to be the best. But for the demo, if you guys are practicing with your builds in my career, if you're, you know, shooting around in the quick matches, if you're even just shooting around in, you know, this 2KU stuff, again, the hash mark down is the best part to shoot with the stick, and above the hash marks is the best place to shoot with the button. So you guys can see we made 2 in a row right there with the stick. We're going to make one with the button. And final shot. Oh, no, can't end on that. We got to end on a green. I will literally sit here until we make a green. I don't care. I will literally continuously chalk up these shots until we hit a green. So thank you for knocking that down. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, with the stick, it's about movement, not timing. When it comes to the button, it's about timing and not movement. So, you know, again, practice makes perfect. I sat here for literally like an hour to an hour and a half trying to record this, or not record this, but just trying to practice to record this. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you guys are new. And yeah, peace.